Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is HASHWAR, the host and inventor of the weekly Conway Glyph HASHWAR series. Welcome to another beginning of our weekly series with the drawing of our 32 contestant glyphs. For those of you who have never seen our series here before, we are conducting an esports series of tournaments between computational challenges. Basically what we're doing is we are hashing and mining certain game of life patterns that are unique and compete with one another according to the adversarial Conway algorithm that I invented. What we're going to see in this week is there's a weekly series of tournaments, as I mentioned. Monday to Thursday is going to be the group phase where the 32 individual glyphs are going to fight among themselves to determine the contestants who go on to fight in the Saturday weekly grand finale. Friday is reserved as the redemption day where all the mid-ranged patterns fight again each other to determine the final winners for the final 4 slots on Saturday's great finale. Now let's move on here to the actual drawing of the 32 glyphs. We are playing as before in the weeks before in the weight class 500 to 599 generations, so that means our Conway game of life patterns that live on the T16 by 16 torus according to B3S23 standard rules. They have to have a generation account of 500 to 599 unique generations. There's quite a lot of them, 163 qualify, and 32 of these will be picked at random. To make sure that this picking and randomization is actually fair, we have implemented 2 measures here. The first one is that all the code that we have here is available on GitHub for inspection and public audit. The second one is we're using a seeded randomness generator, but, and that's the kicker here, the seed for this random number generator is going to be the latest NIST randomness pulse issued by the National Institute of Standards and Technology in Maryland, the United States. And this is exactly what I'm going to do right now. I have now restricted the glyph eligibility to 500 to 599 weight class, and I'm now going to retrieve the latest NIST randomness beacon pulse. This is a randomness pulse that is based on a quantum process, so no one, not even a Nobel Prize winning physicist, can actually predict what this pulse is going to be. This is the NIST pulse ID that you can look up. It's a publicly available auditable ledger that you can look up, and we're compressing this particular seed with the FNV 1A 32-bit compressing hash function. So this is our seed value for the weekly drawing of our glyphs. So I've harvested the NIST pulse. I have restricted the glyphs that we're going to play for this week, which means we're now in a position to actually do the random draw. And here we go. This is the setup for this week's HASHWAR series of glyphs, HASHWAR series of tournaments, which we're going to see. From the look of it, let's have a brief overview of who is going to compete here. Really striking Electric Company Blues is going to be featured again here. This is the only Triple Crown winner pattern that we have seen so far. It has gold, silver and bronze medal, won over the past couple of weeks. Strongest contestant here for this one for sure. We have another couple of old-timers, UV, the inner product, some sort of physics jokes that I'm not really getting. Then we have Shektis Sharong, Neon Chrysanthemum, Archimedes 210, Pandohad and Sodashi, all of these decorated glyphs that we've seen in the past. Looking at this, conspicuously absent are the absolute top tier patterns of our tournament, of our eternal Hall of Fame, namely, for example, Apotheosis, fielded by Bobinu, or Dormant Warmind, who won last week's grand finale on Saturday actually, or my personal favorite because it's my pattern, the Cardinals, also conspicuously absent here. So this seems to be a mid-ranged setup of glyphs that we're going to see. Do we have Bobinu here? Yes, Floating Point as one of his newer patterns. Pigeon is going to be featured. I'm very happy about that. Pigeon is one of our newer players. Fangs is one of our newer players. This one probably going to be very interesting. 598 generation account and a very dense pattern as far as I can tell. This was particularly mined with the idea in mind to have a dense pattern with really dense average life cell count throughout this. This is going to be an interesting week ahead of us. So here's the final draw. Let me quickly make a screenshot so that we can post this on our dedicated subreddit which is r/HASHWAR. That's it from me tonight. We are going to see a lot of interesting matches, which will culminate in Saturday night's weekly finale, a 16 surviving Glyphs knockout-style bracket tournament to determine the ultimate winner. That's it from me tonight. I'm HashZero. Thank you so much for tuning in, and see you out there.